Hey, what's up, good people? It's Jay Ray, the co host of Q Points, and I wanted to come to you because there are two really important ways that you can support our show. One is by subscribing to it wherever you listen to or watch your podcasts. Q Points is pretty much everywhere. The other thing that you can do is you can visit us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, and on Podchaser, and you can leave us a star rating. Please rate us 5 stars because you know you love Q Points. And on Apple Podcasts and on Podchaser, you can actually leave us a written review. It's not required, but it really does help to spread the word about the show, and it helps people to discover it as they're looking for new podcasts to listen to. We're always appreciative of you supporting Q Points. We thank you so much for all that you've done for us so far, and enjoy the show.
Yes, y'all. Welcome back to Q Points. I am Sir Daniel.
And y'all, my name is Jay Ray, also known by my government as Johnny Ray Cornegay the Third. What's happening, y'all?
And you are tuned in to the best podcast on the planet, Q Points, your safe space for meaningful discussions about Black creativity, Black music, and everything that falls under that umbrella. Jay Ray, as I always started off, how are you doing this week?
Listen, man, I am good. Q Points is evolving. We got a lot to talk about, people, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Shout out to Wani Lovett. Always
Wani.
Checking in. We appreciate you, Wani. Thank you for being here for our live taping. But I am really, really good. Before we had Q Points tonight, I was on our CNP Narrative Justice Working Group meeting and talked about video content creation. And man, it was just nice to share, this knowledge, right? So that people can create dope content. And so, I'm feeling really encouraged. But Sir Daniel, more importantly, if y'all haven't noticed, Sir Daniel has his Quiet Storm voice is pronounced this evening. It's there. What's going on? Let the folks know what's going on in Sir Daniel world.
Well, Jay Ray, I've joined a club that I didn't necessarily want to be a member of. This evening, officially, I tested positive for COVID. I've been dealing with it since yesterday. I took a home test yesterday, ran out and got a Minute Clinic test, and was like, you know what? I avoided it for like 2 years, but she got me. The Rona got me, but for everything, I'm feeling okay. I have a little congestion, as you can probably hear it, but. Not for nothing, I'm so grateful that I've been vaccinated and also boosted. I'm probably going to reach out to my primary care physician about getting treatment, and just making my way to recovery. It's one of those things, especially in the type of work that I do. It's one of those things that sometimes you try to avoid it, but got me this time.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm sending you love because child. I know the story of having COVID. Look, I got my COVID stuff still right here, y'all. Look, it's right here in all my COVID stuff, like right here nearby.
Listen, and shout out to you for giving me that list, because what did I do today? I ran right out and got all the things and took it, and I'm thinking that's why I feel I have energy, and it's not that bad. So, it's one of those things. I'm here, y'all. Please, this is just a reminder that it's still out there. There are variants now. It's still out there. It's not gone away. So please take care of yourselves. get tested, get boosted, whatever it is that you need to do.
Yeah. And now, and I know there's been a lot of this lately, in particular as it relates to the queer community, about monkeypox. So as folks are out there living their best lives this summer, also recognize that yes, COVID is still out there. Be aware of monkeypox as well. Yeah, we just gotta take care. And I want to send a shout out to Trey. Trey is in the house as well, hanging out with us. We always are happy to see you. Also happy to see John. John Jordan is with us. John is not a lamb, but the David Morales remix of Dream Lover is still incredible, and he's right. That's we about to get into Mariah and the remix game of Mariah Carey.
Listen, we're about to talk about it. But before we get into that, so you made a statement on Twitter earlier this week. I know I had mentioned to you, there a lot of the rap acts were in the UK over the weekend, or over the past week, were over in London, Finland, all over Europe, right? And of course, there was footage of Nicki Minaj and her caravan being mobbed. And you made a statement that I thought was very poignant.
Yeah, I had to think about, I grew up in the era of, you see Michael Jackson on TV and you see all of this adulation and you're like, oh my God, I would love that. And then as I've gotten older and, I'm an introvert and, I just already like to be falling in the back anyway. What I said on Twitter, y'all, is that I don't ever want to be that kind of famous. I have no interest in people knowing me like that. If I just don't want that, because that's one, is scary. It's like I'm just trying to go to the market. I'm just trying to walk down the street. That's all I want to do. I have no interest in taking pictures. I have no interest in having a conversation. Not because I'm not a friendly person, but because I'm just an introvert. Like, I don't want to be talking to people all day. I couldn't imagine being Nicki. And it was a moment, I watched this one video where there was so many people around and she generally looked frightened at kind of the entirety of the situation. Like she really didn't want that attention. And I mean, people can sit back and say, well, you're Nicki Minaj. Like, that's part of it. But I'm like, at some point, you kind of want it to be not part of it, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would think that at some point, to your point, like you said, you would wish you had an on-off switch. Maybe an invisibility cloak. I thought it was very telling of the type of fans, or even just the culture of fanaticism, of standing. When people get close to somebody that they idolize, nowadays they don't even look them in the eye to interact with them. It's all about getting that phone ready and turning on the phone and looking at the phone like, hey, look at me. And the secondhand recognition by being in the same room, in the same vicinity as your fave, right? That part is creepy to me. That part is super scary. I thought it wasn't funny, but it was kind of funny. Like, she bopped one of the kids. She was like, hey, boom.
Right.
And pushed
like she a mama now. She did a mama thing but you said, you are absolutely right. And that is so strange. I find that strange at concerts as well. I've talked about this. I've written about this. The idea of like this.
Yeah.
I I don't. There's something creepy about. There's something creepy about it.
But speaking of the young man that she pushed out the way, the same young man was so proud of the fact that Nicki pushed him, and that moment went viral. Created a video of her lip syncing to her latest song, which samples the Rick James favorite "Super Freak." And I just wanted to find out from you, what do we think of the song? Have you heard it? What you think?
I haven't heard the song. I don't. Super Freak is not my favorite Rick James song, so that already turns me off.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, Super Freak is on the list of Rick James songs. Super Freak falls like down towards the bottom of Rick James songs. So I don't know. I haven't heard it yet. What do you think? I haven't heard it.
It's it's clearly a throwback to Anaconda. Oh. It's clearly a pop record. It's clearly, let me get some spins in the club, let me get back out there, because she's been kind of away from the club scene. She'll hop on a verse every now and then, but it's somebody else's record. But yeah, it's clearly an attempt for her to get back on the scene, get back into the swing of things, get back on top 40, and get people talking, which is what we're doing about it right now.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious about what this new Nicki era will bring. It's been such a weird few years for her. I mean, real talk. That Sheether thing did something. Like I know that was a long time ago now, but I feel like
there was a kink in the armor. And then Cardi B's rise to fame definitely put her on notice. But I will say this. Her fandom, 100% solid. Her fandom is 100% solid.
And rightfully so. I mean, the woman has hits. She's just like a beast MC. She's a phenomenon as far as a personality. She deserves all of the things that have, that she's gotten to be part of. Like, she was literally it felt like carrying hip hop on her back for like a smooth 5 years, like women and men. Like it was like everybody needed Nicki on something at one point or another. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and I'll listen to the song. My feelings about Super Freak aside, I don't dislike it. It's just not one of my favorite Rick James songs.
Right. It's reintroducing a completely new generation to Super Freak and to Rick James, basically.
As Hammer did once upon a time and made Rick James rich doing it.
Very rich. And I'm pretty certain, I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts that his family, his estate was like, oh yeah, it's been a while, we need to re-up. So let's go ahead and license this real quick.
So Sir Daniel, Q Points can we talk about a Q Points evolution before we talk about
Absolutely.
Mariah? So listen, y'all, we've been teasing this for months. But Sir Daniel and I went and we cooked up a new show. It's called QP Science 3000. And you can only get it if you become an insider. We on Patreon now. We out here. We on Patreon now. And so that's new. We got new content and it's so fun. Y'all are going to love this new content. But you got to become a member to see it. And the other thing is we're updating the website. So, everything has been available for the last year. All the videos, all the stuff, everything that we've done, that has changed. It's changing over the course of the next 3 days. So the only way you'll always be able to hear the show. All the audio
Right.
is going to be available. It's going to be dope. But to watch our video replays for the archive, you got to be a member. Like, it's going behind the wall. We had talked about this a while ago, but it's happening now. And the reason is, we believe in this shit that we are doing. We ready to grow, y'all.
That's right. And membership has its privileges, and we want y'all to come along for the ride. Like, that's why we've been pressing it for a while. Like, please go ahead and join so you could get all the perks that come along with being a member of Q Points. And, this will also lead to opportunities for us to show love to you and to, thank you for being loyal listeners to the show. So, yeah, I think it's time. It's time to grow. We are 60 shows in already. Yeah, before you know it, it'll be the 100 shows deep, and like, that's syndication for television shows.
Yep.
100 shows, you go into syndication after that. So, and speaking of Trey, I forgot you, Trey. I saw what you tweeted last week, and we're gonna hold you to it. You will definitely be taking on the challenge of showing us around New Orleans. So,
right.
Yeah, we're gonna hold you to that for sure.
Yeah, and Trey's really good at that. Like, I've definitely have hung out with Trey in New Orleans. So yeah, it's always a good time. So definitely down for that. So listen, y'all, we put in the chat the link to the Patreon, so y'all can see what's up. Yeah, listen, come on, kids. It's time. So, are we about to talk about one of the ultimates right now?
MC, we're about to talk about Mariah Carey and the power of not just her and her, her mythological vocal range. Well, it's not a myth; it's true.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a thing of legend. I should say legendary vocal range, and her pop superstardom. But more so, we want to talk about the power of her remixes. The remix game is crazy. Quite honestly, I think she's the one. She's definitely the artist that took the remix to another level.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what's interesting about that? So when we think about the beginning of her career, kind of how it was very crafted. She was presented to us. She was presented to us as a white woman, right? We didn't know she was a black woman, and so she was like, "Child, like, that's not what's happening here," right? We didn't, because she was presented to us in this particular way. So this woman was presented with this powerhouse of a song, pop gold. I mean, you got Vision of Love. Right after that was like Someday. Like, these pop golden songs. And I don't know that I could conceptualize what we would end up getting from her at first. And it wasn't until that second album when I think I really started to kind of like feel it, because this wasn't a remix, but I felt like Emotions was just such a dope first single for like a second album. She sang the hell out of it, and it was produced it was just well produced. And then we started to get these like side gems that would happen. And she took the remix to the next level, where she at her level of stardom, going into the studio and reworking a song. What?
Yeah, it's definitely like, nowadays when people say something is a remix, it's really, let's pile on as many rappers as we can on a song and call it a remix. To your point, Mariah Carey and artists of her ilk in that era would go into the studio and completely re-record a song, add lyrics, completely take it to a new vibe. And let's be honest, this era of the remix took Mariah Carey from just being a pop chanteuse into being a hip hop, a hip hop fixture.
Yep.
Like Mariah Carey became a hip hop fixture, absolutely after, especially after the Fantasy remix.
Oh my goodness, Wani just dropped some knowledge that I don't even, it's so crazy. Wow, Wani. Yeah, wow, that's back in the day. Back in the day. So Wani just dropped. I remember discussing Mariah Carey with you when she first came out. You were the person who told me that she was one of us, and I didn't believe you because she did not look the part. She didn't. Like, she was presented to us.
You outed Mariah Carey to me.
Listen, y'all. And yeah, Trey mentioned here that I love that Mariah would completely rework songs. It was pretty much a new song. So early on, I know that I mentioned Emotions as one when I think of like my early Mariah songs that originals, right? My early Mariah joints that I really took to. Emotions, I think, was it. For you, when you think about those first couple of records, that debut album and the Emotions album, what were you checking for then? Was it still the remixes, or were you checking for like singles?
So at that point, it was still mostly singles. It was still very much, like you said, Emotions, Someday, those singles that were heavy in rotation on MTV. It wasn't until about 95 that we really got remixes, like Diddy breathing on the record, all of that stuff. We got remixes. And I have my top 3 remixes, and I'm hoping you can share some of yours as well this evening as well.
I absolutely will. So let's go for, actually, I'm going to go, oh, this is going to be so crazy. So yes, let's start with one of your favorite Mariah remixes, and let's just go from there.
Sure. Number 3 is the Mr. Dupree remix of "Always Be My Baby" that features Escape and the Brat, and has a wonderful sample of SOS Band.
Yes, it does. Yep.
Yeah.
Tell me if you still care. I forgot about that
Yes.
remix. Yeah. Oh, good one. Good one.
Yes.
Oh, this is hard. Okay, so my number 3. Am I picking this as my number 3? So my number 3 is going to be, I think, the Honey mix. So the Honey classic mix. Yes, that one right there, with the Brat. Of course, it was remixed by Jermaine Dupri. Mariah Carey and Jermaine Dupri, we're going to have to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a thing. But that Honey remix right there is nuts. So first of all, the entire end refrain is her screaming at the top of her lungs, "Honey, you can't have me when you want me." She does that thing like 8 times, and it gets higher. And by the end, she's straining. And that appealed to me so much. I'm like, this lady is just singing. She don't even have, can't they just loop this?
No, she was like, I can do this, and I want you to know that I can do this. So so there's also a Bad Boy remix on here, but your favorite is the So So Def.
It is. Yeah, the So So Def remix is definitely, hands down, one of my favorite things to listen. It's just a jam from the top.
So yeah, to your point about Mariah and Jermaine Dupri, I don't know what it is, but the synergy between the two of them just gave us what we needed. I mean, he gave her a street edge. he would also give the songs a completely new life.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Jermaine. We like to leave him out of conversations a lot, but Jermaine Dupri is definitely part of that foundation of what was to become the golden era, or the I guess the ending phase of the golden era. He's definitely part of that foundation.
Yeah, I think what we hear on Jermaine and Mariah remixes is the fact that they really enjoy working together. Like it definitely seemed like, because it was all a comfort, right? Like even the Brat being on like so many of those remixes, like you could definitely
Yeah.
tell they were friends. Even when they got Escape on, the remix, it was just like it felt like a family. Like and maybe at that point in time, we know that Mariah was having a rough time in terms of her marriage. Her husband was in charge of her career and her record label and all of that stuff. Maybe it was Jermaine and Atlanta and So Def that gave her freedom
And healing.
and
Yeah.
healing to kind of be. And I think when we hear those remixes, that's what we're hearing is she doesn't have to be part of all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
somebody joined us that's a Facebook user. You can definitely, unfortunately, we can't see your comment, but there should be like a button on Facebook which will allow you to give us permission to see who you are. We want to know who you are. But hey, thanks for joining us.
Right.
But yeah, Mariah and the Jermaine Dupri collab is a thing. And I remember at the beginning of that Honey So Def remix, and Mariah's like, if Jermaine like it, and then the Brad is like, he do.
Yeah. No, exactly. And so not only did we get to the masses got to see the Brat, and the masses got to see Escape, but we also got to hear up and coming background singers like Kelly Price, who really laced a lot of these joints in the backgrounds back in the day, quiet as kept.
Absolutely. She's on my number one Mariah Carey remix, which I know that we'll get to. But so we get into this phase, right? The classic Mariah phase, Sir Daniel. Okay, so you as a hip hop head, when did your, like, because there's a moment when your head comes up and you're like, huh, what was the song? Like, when do you remember lifting your head up and saying, huh, that's surprising. I didn't know she could do that.
Well, I mean, her singing over Mobb Deep Shook Ones was definitely a moment. The bridge, the rooftop.
Roof.
That was definitely, the roof is definitely a moment. And I was like, because I was used to hearing DJs taking acapellas and putting it over hip hop beats, but then to hear someone like a Mariah Carey just say, you know what, I'm about to hop on this Mobb Deep Shook Ones, and I'm about to give y'all a completely different vibe on this record and kill it.
Bruh. Listen, that was the Butterfly album was the album when, I lifted my head up because I was a fan of the stuff before, but I was like, oh, that's what we're doing? And then it was the roof that because I didn't know when I first heard that record that was what was going to drop from it, because it has that quiet kind of piano little thing.
Yeah.
And then when that beat dropped, I'm like, oh, we're doing Mobb Deep?
Yep. Absolutely. But you're going to be surprised when I tell you my second
what is it?
choice. So my second choice is the Thank God I Found You, Make It Last remix with Nas and Joe that takes the Keith Sweat classic, Make It Last Forever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good choice.
Oh my God. Like, completely does the thing that it needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't sound weird. Joe is completely competent singing next to Mariah Carey. It's just dope.
Ooh, that's a good one. I forgot, actually, I haven't heard that in a really long time. I'm making these notes on the side because I'm like, oh, there's some joints I gotta go back to. But yeah, that's definitely That's another one. You know what? What's interesting about Mariah remixes now that we are having this conversation? There have been, it's not often that we've gotten remixes that that are foundationally slow jams.
Yeah.
And I feel like there were a couple of times, several times in Mariah's remix catalog where you get something. I'm like, oh, this is like this is a new slow jam right here. She did that really, really well.
But she's able to do both. Like she'll take a slow jam, a ballad, and then turn it into a dance hit.
Right. Yeah.
Like she can do either way. Either way. So that's why she is who she is, you know.
Okay. So my number two is the fantasy remix.
Right.
So you got Diddy doing the Diddy thing on the remix. You have ODB at peak ODB. So, okay, can we talk about the story of ODB even getting on the fantasy remix is a story in itself?
Because you would never, out of all the Wu-Tang members, you would never think that Mariah Carey, because she's presents this as very prima donna, very princess, and ODB is Old Dirty Bastard,
Right.
And they got in the studio together. Well, tell the story.
Well, okay, yeah. So so the decision was made to have ODB on Mariah Carey's Fantasy. Amazingly interesting decision. I would have never, to your point, thought that would be a thing, especially because this is record 3. I think this is record 4. Because it wasn't on Music Box. It was on the album. But Music Box was when she started to sprinkle in hip hop because Dream Lover had some hip hop samples on it too. Anyway, yes. ODB, apparently the story goes, he enters the studio, drunk as all get out, and says some stuff and falls asleep. Like this is, he says some things and he falls asleep. He wakes up and says more things and falls asleep. And the ODB sessions are done. You know what I'm saying? So he said some stuff. He's done now. And so apparently what happened is they did a cut of the song, and of course he does the New York's in the house and all of that stuff. And it was like, oh, we need more of that. So ODB has to now come back to the studio at I think they ended up paying him twice because, they had to pay him to do the first thing that he did. And he was just kind of saying some stuff and falling asleep. And then they had to bring him back and him do more of the in the house parts because they really liked that. And you know what? That really did set off that remix. I mean, he opened the song with that and it set the expectation. So, yeah, I find that story really funny and it happened and it was classic and it's great.
ODB was both a genius and a madman.
Genius and a madman, to say the truth. And unfortunately, no, we can't see you. We can't see your name yet. But thanks for giving it a go. We'll look up some instructions and make sure that we include that on our next broadcast, so we can make sure everybody's name shows up.
So let's see. So you and I have had these discussions offline about my fantasy of a reality show or a sitcom featuring Mariah Carey.
Yes. Please tell the people.
So listen, I'm really good at these things. Like, I envision Mariah Carey is like the boss of all Nick Cannon's baby mothers. Like, she is the grand dame it's like nothing goes without her saying it's okay. Like she has weekly meetings with all of them, whether they're Zoom or in person. You are absolutely not allowed to come to her house, but she will have rock and roll meet with the other children, and grace them with their presence. And there's also a code name for rock and roll. It's called one. They're called the One Bs because they're the firstborns, and so they're respected as the firstborns. And like I just see this happening. Like can't you see Mariah Carey like, hey, listen, number two, that post you made was not approved. I'm going to need you to take it down, or your allowance will be cut off for the next week. Stuff like that.
Listen, can Mariah exclusively have that fan? Could there be like a fan happening? And she always has perfect lighting, but just
Oh,
Mariah.
absolutely. Just Mariah. She shot from I think it's the left hand side, right? She shot from the left hand side. She comes with her own lighting. Even when it comes to like if one of the other kids is having a graduation, she'll allow rock and roll to attend the graduation, but she will have the lighting change in the auditorium because she's there. I want all of that kind of foolishness. I want all of it.
I think what we are establishing is the fact that you mentioned this earlier. Like there is this mysticism about Mariah Carey that even though we know, yes, Reggie, we can see you. Hey, man, it's Reggie. Hey. So there's this mysticism about Mariah that even though we know she's a real person, and even when we have examples of her doing like real person things, like sitting next to Brandy and teaching her parts from the roof, sounds like a very musician Mariah thing to do. Like, but it also seemed like there's this kind of mythical figure teaching Brandy how to do singing stuff that Brandy is really good at. It just seemed crazy.
And on the other hand, you have a pop culture moment where Mariah Carey shows up on Wilding Out and comes out after Nick Cannon makes some type of comment, and she says, "I will shut all this shit down." And the crowd loves it. They go crazy for that kind of stuff because we know that there's both sides of Mariah Carey. We know that she likes to read. We know that she's good at letting letting us know that she doesn't know who certain people are.
I don't know her.
I don't know her. Those are things that make you iconic. I don't know her isn't iconic. If I had I don't know her on a t-shirt, everybody would know exactly where that came from.
Can we talk about her pen game real quick? Mariah's pen game, crazy.
She loves a $20 word.
She loves a $20 word.
Yes, she does. I like in the Heartbreaker remix, incessantly.
Right.
Who uses the word incessantly in a song? Mariah Carey does. That's who.
Listen,
and I'm here for it.
I am have always been fascinated by the fact that she like pens these tunes. Like they're penning the songs. She's absolutely a studio artist. Like she gets studio craft. She knows how she wants things to sound. She knows how to layer vocals. She gets all of that stuff. But writing wise, when we go back, even her newer stuff, you're still like, dang, that woman know how to write a song. She know how to write a song.
And I think early on she learned that that's where the money is. That's really where the money is. I don't know who put that bug in her ear, but she was like, I need to be able to write all of these songs. Matter of fact, I think it was Brenda K. Starr that encouraged her to keep writing and told her that's where the money is.
Listen, the woman don't ever have to work. She working now because she's just working. Like she don't really have to. It give us something to do.
Like a Christmas doesn't come along where we don't hear that song, and you know what song I'm talking about.
Absolutely. We will link to our show where our Christmas episode, and we talk about
Yep.
that song. How, I mean, she probably just easily gets like a $5 million check. Just, they probably pre-send it to her. Like, well, here's your
Yeah.
check. Here's your check for the season. So,
She's like, and she probably looks at it like,
right.
I'll just throw that in the other pile.
Right. So, Sir Daniel, what's your number one Mariah Carey remix?
All right. My number one Mariah Carey remix is the My All Stay a While remix. I
Oh.
absolutely love that song, from the singing to the loose ends sample. It bangs. Like, there's a version with not Pete, what's the name? Peter Guns and Lord Tariq, and then there's a version on that you can get without them on it. Absolute from top to bottom. That's like the slinkiest. It's a summer tune. It's so slinky and sexy, and she's singing her brains out. It's everything I love about that tune. That's my favorite Mariah Carey remix.
Don't leave, don't leave. Bruh.
Don't leave, don't leave. Yep,
Just that opening right there.
yep. That's it.
Listen, that joint, that joint right there is amazing. I just don't have much else to say. It's a great song. I don't know how people can't like it. I don't get how people can't like it. It is a classic remix. And yeah, once again, So Def, her and Jermaine Dupri.
Once again, and what I love is that Mariah Carey will take like a ballad of hers, or and just use and sample a black ass barbecue song. A ribs and barbecue song, like super black, like we all doing an electric slide to this, and she will sing over that because she knows she's been able to connect. She knows the connection that she has with the community and who is actually spinning her records. And it's a dope way to get DJs to play more of your stuff.
Yep.
Is to remix them.
Yeah.
And format it to different, whether it's hip hop or house. It's a dope way to format your songs to different formats so it can be played even more.
Yep.
So super smart. She's always been a smart.
Listen, so you led right into my number one. So my number one is actually a house remix. You know this. I talk about this all the time. My favorite Mariah Carey remix is Anytime You Need a Friend, the CNC, the Clovillis and Cole remix, which includes a Kelly Price. They do a whole gospel number at the top. So before you even get to the club, because baby, the kids love a gospel. You play some gospel on in the club, the kids gonna sing to it. So they do a whole gospel number at the top. Then they go into that anytime you need me, anytime you want me, it's alright, with a whole choir. And you dancing, and listen, that song goes up. I don't know, more DJs, listen now, come on over, come close. Play the Anytime You Need a Friend CNC remix more frequently. It will send the kids up, because that joint goes up. Love it.
I believe it. Like you said, the whole point of remixes is to take a song to another level. And Mariah Carey's she's a master of it all. She really is. Again, it sounds like we're deriding, but she's undeniable.
Listen, it's true. And I think it's interesting being in the moment. One, I'm happy that Mariah's having this current moment that she's in, because I do feel like not just us here at Q Points, but I feel like she's getting her flowers, because I do think there was a period of time where that wasn't true. I do think that, especially, after given there was some weird performance stuff and all of that, but also just kind of coming out of like Bracelet era Mariah, and but then of course coming right back with the Emancipation of Mimi, and just like, y'all
You
thought
thought I was done?
you thought I was done? What are you, dumb?
And listen, not for nothing, Glitter has some bops on it.
Glitter had bops. We should
Like
probably watch
Boy
that Loverboy remix.
with Cameo. Come on.
Come on.
I'm just saying, facts are facts, America.
So it's crazy. So even to that point, right? Even at those points where it's like, okay, this is a little wobbly, she would drop a remix and you're just like, that record might not have done what it was supposed to do, but that remix went up.
For sure. And it's just something that people need to, younger artists, take notes, take lessons, These are things that your predecessors have done to lay down so that you can get even further and do better than they have. Take notes.
Take notes, man. Because even I was a fan of the last record as well. Actually, there was so many joints on that last record that I really loved. But yeah, so more love to Mariah, and happy to see what stuff she ends up creating next. I wonder if she's interested in penning stuff for kind of some of the new singers. You know what I mean? Because remember, for a period of time she had like a record label, and
Yeah.
But I think it would be interesting because I think she has a unique way of crafting lyrics that resonates, and it would be dope to hear more new artists kind of record some Mariah Carey joints, even if they are redoing old stuff. Like, I would love to hear some covers. They had to be good though. Don't be whack.
They have to be good. They have to be good, or we'll talk about you.
Or we will.
We'll talk about you.
But yes, definitely shout out to Mariah. And let me see. John mentioned, I don't know if I said this out loud, but John mentioned We Belong Together is her best original mix song. It's the only Mariah song I never get tired of hearing, no matter how many times I hear it. That's from that Listen, and that was at that point where people was like thinking she was done, and it's like, nah, she ain't done, yo.
I especially, like, one of my favorite moments was the Touch My Body moment.
It was.
Where she mentioned Wendy Williams. And I remember Wendy Williams kept playing the song on loop, like that specific part of the song, because she just thought it was so funny. And she was like, yes, a Wendy Williams interview. And, that was before the TV show. So
Right.
Wendy was all about it. She was like, yes, say my name, say my name. And especially the lyric where she says, I will hunt you down. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Mariah was gangster with it, too.
Listen, remember Aretha Franklin went on stage and did Touch My Body?
Touch My Body.
Aretha Franklin, y'all, went and did Touch My Body by the Mariah Carey from the E=MC² album.
Wow.
What a time.
Hey, when Aretha Franklin touches your song live, that means you got the goods.
Yeah, absolutely. Fully agree. Listen, more. Thank y'all for just hanging out with us as we gushed over Mariah, who absolutely deserves the love. And definitely drop. I know some of y'all dropped, if you listening to the show, drop in the comments what some of your favorite Mariah joints are. Oh, you have to come over to our website and do that. So yeah, go on over there. Because once again, y'all, so replays of the show will be available exclusively, video replays of the show rather will be available exclusively on our website, qpoints.com, and all of that. So definitely head on over to, we're going to be hawking this Patreon every show, so get used to it. Get on over there and get you some. because you want more content like this. So you definitely want to come over there. We are still running our contest. You can win vinyl. You can win a copy of Strength by Wajid, because we've been having all of these conversations about house music, and you need some new house music in your collection. So definitely hit us up because you might be able to win. And yes, Wani, the complete Emancipation of Mimi album goes up. Point blank, period. Make sure you head on over to Apple Podcasts and subscribe over there and leave us a review, and head on over to Podchaser, do the same thing. Definitely leave us a review and a star rating. And YouTube, if you're not watching us on YouTube right now, go on over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button. We're going to be having scenes, like clips from the show and stuff like that. There's going to be some new stuff that we're kicking around for doing just some like special YouTube stuff. So definitely follow the YouTube. And last but definitely not least, y'all need to be following that man over there. That man over there on Mixcloud, because he be just over there just like killing it over there.
Jamming, yeah. I appreciate that. Shout out to the All Vinyl crew. That's yes, that's going Vinyl and Vibes, my man. Vinyl and Vibes is going down this Sunday here in Atlanta and at I Lounge in East Atlanta. So if you're in the metro area, please make sure you check that out. And also follow me for more details on the pop-up at JB's Record Lounge next week. So that's going to be pretty fun too. So I appreciate you all.
Yep. So you got to rest, man, so that you is ready to go next week. 5 days, Sir Daniel. Don't do nothing. You got 5 days.
Yes, indeed. I will. I will be resting and taking it easy.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. So what do you normally bless with the people? What do you say?
Listen, it's like I always tell the kids, in this life you have a choice. You can either pick the needle up or you can let the record play. I'm Sir Daniel.
And my name is J Ray, y'all.
Peace. This has been Q Points. We'll see you next time.